The next in line, Your Excellency, is Ministry of Roads and Transport. Mr. Davis Kechirchir, Cabinet Secretary. PS Engineer Joseph Mbugwa and PS Mr. Mohamed Dakar, in the presence of Honorable George Macharia Kariuki. Your Excellency, the next is Minister of Labor and Social Protection, Honorable Alfred Nganga Mutua, PS Shadrach Mwadime, PS Mogozi Motari, in witness in the presence of Honorable Alice Wambui Nganga, if she's around. The next is Minister of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports, Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, accompanied by PS Ismail Mahali Madei, Engineer Peter Kaitum, in the presence of Daniel Wanyama Sitati, Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Sports and Agriculture. and culture. Sorry. The next is Minister of Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development, Honorable Alice Pahome, Cabinet Secretary, in the witness whereof by Honorable Generali Korir Nixon, Mr. Charles Hinga Mwaura, and Mr. Joel Simatua Loremoi. In the presence of Honorable Joash Nyamache Nyamoko and Honorable Johanna Ngeno Kibiegon. Next, Your Excellency, is Minister of Tourism and Wildlife, the Honorable Rebecca Miano, in witness whereof by Mr. John Lekakeny Ololtua and Ms. Museya Sylvia Kihoro, in the presence of Chavez Kareke Mbuki. Next, Your Excellency, Minister of Energy and Petroleum, the Honorable James Opiyo Wandayi, Cabinet Secretary, accompanied by Mr. Alex K. Wachira, PS, and Mr. Mohammed Liban, Principal Secretary for Tourism, in the presence of Honorable Vincent Musyoka Musau, Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Energy. Your Excellency, last but not least, is Ministry of Mining, Blue Economy and Maritime Affairs, the Honorable Hassan Ali Joho, Cabinet Secretary, in witness of whereof Mr. Elijah K. Mwangi, Ms. Betsy Njagi, Mr. Jovri Kaituko, in the presence of Honorable David Kigeria and Honorable David Kangogo Bowen. Your Excellency, sir, this brings us to the end of this first part of our ceremony. Your Excellency, you may kindly take your seat at the designated presidential dais. May I have our seats. Your Excellency, it is now my distinct honor to invite the Prime Cabinet Secretary to make his remarks and thereafter progress the day's program. Thank you.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable William Samoei Ruto, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, Professor Kindiki Kithure, Cabinet colleagues, members of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic Corps present, CEOs, PSS, and all public officers, good morning. Your Excellency, mine will be very brief. We have appended our signatures to the performance contracts, and it is our duty to make sure that we honor what we have signed up to. Your Excellency, I can only emphasize that it will be important that as we execute our mandate, we exercise extreme humility. We also exercise integrity, and we also acknowledge that the focus must be on performance and delivery as you have assigned us in our various portfolios. Your Excellency, it is important that Parliament has also been here. They oversight us, and I think the message that we get from their presence also is that they are likely to be more vicious in their oversight assignments as they look at all the various dockets and what is expected of us. With these few remarks, it is my singular honor, Your Excellency, to now welcome the Deputy President, Professor Kindiki Kithure, to make some remarks and thereafter invite you to address us. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the President, and all protocols observed, all the dignitaries here, I recognize you. Your Excellency, our Constitution creates a very elaborate yet crucial mechanism for accountability of all people who are delegated with the authority to act on behalf of the people of Kenya, in whose hands the sovereignty of this country rests. That accountability, Your Excellency, sir, ladies and gentlemen, is at different levels. First, the direct accountability system between the President and the people of Kenya through the elections. In between, the Constitution creates arms of government. The executive, led by His Excellency the President, the judiciary, and the Houses of Parliament. It is argued that increasingly our Constitution and many other democratic constitutions have created a fourth arm of government, and that is the independent offices other than the judiciary, because they are not the executive, they are not in the judiciary, they are not in the legislature, yet they are constitutional formations which help our democracy to move forward. Two of these arms of government are devolved, the executive and legislature. All these arms of government are arms of one government of the Republic of Kenya. The more reason, Your Excellency, sir, that on an occasion like this one, other arms of government come to witness and also to support the executive, because we are all arms of one government of the Republic of Kenya. Going forward, under your leadership, Your Excellency, we hope we'll be able to build greater harmony and coherence among the arms of government and the two levels of government, because all of us, from yourself and everybody else exercising authority in this country of whatever nature, does so on behalf of the people of Kenya, and the government is one, but with various arms and various levels, as I have outlined. Therefore, Your Excellency, it is a great occasion for us today, even as we look at the performance contracts of those of us who are in the executive, as we make sure that we enhance our accountability to the people of Kenya as you lead us. The second and last remark I want to make, Your Excellency, sir, is I've been reflecting on a day like this one, what this means to us who are here. It means that we are expected, in the context in which we exercise our mandates, to ensure that whatever commitments we make, we fulfill them. Because accountability demands transparency, report back, and evaluation. And Your Excellency, it is my very humble view that in the context of a very vibrant democracy that Kenya is, going forward, we have to work harder, faster, more efficiently, if we have to keep pace with a very vibrant democracy that our country has become. Your Excellency, I'm happy to be part of this, and I promise you from where I sit to support you and to work with all the other colleagues as you lead us to deliver a better Kenya, a more inclusive Kenya, a Kenya that is sensitive to the needs of its people, and a government that is sensitive and responds to the needs and aspirations of the people of Kenya. Permit me, Your Excellency, to request all my colleagues to be upstanding as I welcome you to address us. Mr. President, you're welcome, and thank you very much for this occasion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Deputy President. Let's take our seats. Let me first take this opportunity to welcome all of you present here, members of the executive, members of the legislature, members of independent commissions, our members of the diplomatic corps, and friends. This function is not just a part of the traditions and practices of our public service sector. It has its foundations in the Constitution, which, besides national values and principles of governance, has entire chapters devoted to the public service as well as leadership and integrity. These provisions, alongside other laws enacted under them, when seeking receiving public services, define the expectations and entitlement of citizens. For us, they also set the standard we must uphold at all times in our performance individually and also collectively. It is important for us to understand that in entering the public service, we are under an explicit and implied binding contract with the people of Kenya to perform the tasks and duties entrusted to us and manage resources under our stewardship to a specific minimum standard set both by the law and by the Constitution. It is therefore always a good strategy to establish the document and clear terms and conditions to which we and the citizens of Kenya can make reference in evaluating whether we are doing our jobs as is required of us and providing meaningful value to the people of Kenya. In electing their government, the people express specific expectations and entrust us to deliver fully and also to deliver on time. I am committed to honoring that trust fully, and to do so, I rely on you to equally do your part as set out in your terms of appointment and as demanded by the Constitution, the law of Kenya, and the electorate. Our performance contract with citizens was formalized upon the inauguration of this administration in our commitment under the bottom-up economic transformation agenda for Kenya. This plan embodies our commitment to addressing critical priorities, including reducing the cost of living, managing inflation, taking all steps to create jobs, eradicate hunger, enhancing food production and productivity in general, and expanding the tax base and improving our foreign exchange balances. We also pledged to enhance governance, democracy, and the rule of law, protect rights and freedoms, uphold our national sovereignty, and achieve inclusive economic growth. These are the benchmarks by which Kenyans will assess our success. As we sign the second generation ministerial performance contract for the year 2024-25, let us reflect on our commitments, the ones we made, and the weight of the responsibility that we have on our shoulders. These performance contracts are not mere bureaucratic rituals or ceremonial formalities. They represent firm and solemn commitments to implement the inclusive and transformative goals of our plan. I must emphasize, and I encourage you to internalize the strategic pillars of this agenda and their interconnectedness. These pillars demand greater efficiency in current programs and projects and a bold redefinition of our service delivery paradigm. Agriculture, for example, is critical to ensuring food security, empowering farmers, creating an ecosystem of micro, small, and medium enterprise, drive job creation, and also build on our economic growth. Affordable housing, on the other hand, enhances dignity and stimulates not just the construction sector, but the whole manufacturing ecosystem in our country. Universal health coverage fosters a healthy, productive population, making sure that no citizen is left behind. while the digital superhighway and creative economy positions Kenya as a global innovative and innovation hub, enhancing our efficiency and also building on our competitiveness. These pillars define my performance contract with the people, which have been directly executed by me and through cabinet secretaries and accounting officers. We are therefore united under a solemn bond to fulfill these commitments for the benefit of our nation and to make this country a better place for all of us. Performance contracting arises from our recognition of the need for a structured mechanism to transform Kenya into an industrialized middle-income economy with a high quality of life for all our citizens by the year 2030, as envisioned in our Vision 2030. It subjects each of our actions to objective benchmarks to evaluate progress and ensures that the needs and aspirations of the people remain at the center of every effort that we make. Over the years, performance contracting has proven to be a robust accountability framework, ensuring the effective use of public resources to meet constitutional mandates and also to meet citizen expectations. This year's contracts integrate the priorities of the fourth-term medium plan under Vision 2030 and the strategic pillars of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. These plans aim to maximize the impact of scarce resources on Kenyans, particularly those at the bottom of the economic pyramid. A society, ladies and gentlemen, is best judged by how it treats its most vulnerable members. And interventions targeting those at the bottom of the ladder will eventually uplift everyone. By aligning their functions with these commitments, every ministry, department, and agency contributes to a rising tide of inclusive prosperity. The contracts we signed today are action plans for urgent, precise, and efficient execution. I expect each cabinet secretary to take personal responsibility for achieving the targets outlined in their ministry's contracts. There is no room, ladies and gentlemen, for excuse or delay or failure. Accountability must cascade through all levels of ministries, departments, and agencies to individual officers. At the end of the financial year, each cabinet secretary will receive a performance report card reflecting their ministry's achievements. These scorecards will ensure that performance contracting is not seen as a meaningless ritual. This scorecard will carry recognition, rewards, and sanctions which will be applied without fail. Excellence, integrity, efficiency, and consistency will be rewarded, while failure, negligence, waste, and misconduct will promptly invite corrective action. It is important that performance contracting is deployed in ways that raise the levels of engagement and motivation and promote greater conformity with the values and principles of public service. In other words, I fully expect to see continuous improvement in responsiveness, efficiency, and integrity of our officers collectively and individually. To ensure seamless implementation, the National Treasury will disburse available budgetary allocations on time. Lack of funds or delay in their release should not be an excuse for failure to serve citizens. Consequently, our planning, budgeting, and execution functions must operate in closer harmony to achieve this goal. After more than a decade, I believe that the time has come to institutionalize performance management. This is why a public service performance management bill is being finalized and will soon be tabled in Parliament. Through legislation, we will entrench accountability and promote the highest standards of service delivery at all levels of government. To strengthen coordination, I have also established an office to focus on performance and delivery management in the Executive Office of the President. Through this office, all MDS will be facilitated to quickly address performance deficiencies and oversee the timely implementation of corrective measures. Performance management is a best practice that must include the entirety of government, and no taxpayer-funded institution should be exempt from the mandate to deliver. I commend constitutional commissions, county governments, and institutions that have embraced performance contracting and urge those that are yet to adopt this framework to do so in the spirit of accountability and conformity with the values and principles of public service. Because overall accountability rests with me, I take this responsibility and opportunity to assure you of my full support in fostering a performance-driven culture within the public service in furtherance of faster delivery of our national transformation agenda. Each one of us is required to deliver on our commitments, and the best way to do so is by working together, united by the urgency of the need to transform Kenya and ensure that every citizen experience the full promise of this country's abundant opportunities and possibilities. I look forward to working with each and every one of you, and I'm happy that on this occasion we have chairman of parastatals, we have a chief executive of government agencies present here, so that we can approach this with a whole of government drive and momentum. I want to assure you that although we are in a difficult place globally, economically, but I am very confident that we have the team, we have the people, and we have the plan and the goodwill to transform our nation. I have no doubt in my mind, and there is no room for failure. We must succeed. We must build on the synergies that exist within government departments, work together towards creating the momentum that is going to make each and everyone succeed. I want us to understand that the failure of one sector of government, one department, one agency, one ministry affects the overall performance of government. And therefore, it is our collective responsibility to make sure that using the whole of government approach, that we ensure that we build the necessary momentum and also synergy so that we can succeed together. The executive will not succeed if the legislature does not succeed. And the judiciary will not succeed if the executive or the legislature does not succeed. The success of Kenya is going to be the success of every arm of government and every department of government and every agency of government. And that is how we are going to succeed. I want to assure us, as the people of Kenya, that we are in a very pivotal moment. We have taken on a transformative pathway. We have taken on very difficult assignments. For a very long time, close to 15, 20 years, we haven't thought with clarity about our education and the funding of our education. We have decided this time round to bite the bullet and sort out the funding in our education sector and provide clarity on the education of our children. For a very long time, we have imported food in Kenya when we have the wherewithal, the capacity to produce enough food in our country. We've taken on that responsibility, and we are making strides. This year, by God's grace, in a very long time, we will not import some of the food products, including maize. I am equally very proud that we are making significant progress in the production of sugar in Kenya. Something that has been so difficult. We've had to look for COMESA safeguard waivers since I was Minister for Agriculture almost 10 years ago. But this year, by God's grace, and with our farmers working hard and the support we've given them, we have seen a drastic reduction in importation of sugar. We have taken on another very difficult assignment to make sure that we give decent dwellings to the people of Kenya, especially the vulnerable, especially the disadvantaged, those who live in slums without toilets, without electricity, with no sanitation. We've taken on that assignment because we have decided a different pathway for Kenya. Rather than lament about our situation, we have taken on the responsibility to do something about it, however difficult it may be. We have taken on the responsibility of universal health coverage. I know 2 successive presidents have attempted and they didn't quite succeed. 2 successive governments have attempted, they didn't quite succeed. We have decided that we are taking on this challenge because there are too many Kenyans that die out of illnesses that we can treat. There are too many Kenyans who end up in squalor and poverty because of hospital bills. We have decided that this time round, we must get it right and make it possible for every citizen, irrespective of their financial status, that they can get the highest level of treatment in Kenya. Difficult, yes, but rather than lament about a not so working NHIF, an NHIF that has bills dating 10 years, 15 years, we've decided to correct that situation. And I promise you, we will confound the naysayers. We will succeed. This country will not fail. This great nation that God has given us will succeed. The enemies of Kenya will be put to shame because we are going to succeed and we are going to take this country forward. I am persuaded and I am very clear and I am focused on making sure that together with all of us, working as leaders in the Republic of Kenya. And all of us understand the more authority you have, the greater the responsibility that rests on your shoulders. And the greater the responsibility you have on your shoulders, the higher the accountability that you are judged by. So all of us must work together towards making Kenya succeed. This country of ours, this home that God has given us, we must work tirelessly to make it succeed, to make it great, so that we can bequeath the next generation of Kenyans a better country, much more organized country, a country that shares prosperity, a united country. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am asking of all of you, the people who serve in different capacities, the people who have the privilege and honor to occupy whatever office in the service of the people of Kenya, that we join hands, we work together, and we focus on making this nation great. I want to thank you very much for coming for this function. I look forward to working with the ministers and the PSS and those who run different government agencies in making sure that we deliver on the commitments, on the mandate, and on the assignments that have been signed off here today, so that our nation can succeed and we can meet the expectations of the people of Kenya. We will make the other steps as we go. I'm sure every ministry is going to look at the individual departments and also agencies in the different ministries to make sure that they become part of this whole of government approach in the delivery of our assignment given to us by the people of Kenya. Thank you very much. God bless you all, and God bless our great country, Kenya. Asanteni sana.
Another round of applause for His Excellency. Thank you, Your Excellency. We'll request that you remain on stage as we wind up with the national anthem. If there's anybody who is seated, please let's be upstanding as we finish with the national anthem. The national anthem.
Kutoka katika ikulu ya Nairobi ambapo Rais William Ruto ameongoza shughuli ya kutiwa sahihi kwa kandarasi za utendakazi kwa mawaziri. Ni kandarasi ambazo tu zitakuwa zinawaelekeza kuhusiana na yale ambayo wanatarajiwa kutekeleza katika wizara mbalimbali. Kumbuke ya kwamba kandarasi ya kwanza kutiwa sahihi chini ya uongozi wa Rais William Ruto ilikuwa ni Agosti mwaka jana, na leo hii wakati ambapo ameongoza hafla hii amewasihi mawaziri na vile makatibu na wote ambao wanatenda kazi katika nyanja mbalimbali za serikali kutekeleza majukumu yao kwa njia ambayo inastahili, na akatoa onyo kwamba hakuna kuvumilia utendakazi mbaya na hakuna kuvumilia kazi ambayo haifanyiki na kwamba yule ambaye hatakuwa anatekeleza majukumu yake kulingana na jinsi ambavyo anastahili basi atakuwa anaadhibiwa, na kwamba serikali itakuwa tu inaangalia utendakazi wa wale wa mawaziri na vilevile wale walio chini yao katika kipindi cha mwaka mmoja, ili kuhakikisha yale ambayo walikuwa wameagizwa watekeleze wanayatekeleza kwa njia ambayo inastahili. Leo hii ni hafla ambayo imekuwa tofauti kidogo ikilinganishwa na jinsi ambavyo ilikuwa mwaka jana, manake kunao mawaziri ambao wakati ule walikuwepo lakini leo hii hawapo. Na pia mtazamaji, utakumbuka kwamba wakati mwaka jana tulikuwa na naibu wa rais ambaye alikuwa ni Rigathi Gachagua, lakini sasa hivi hafla yenyewe inafanyika chini yake Profesa Kithure Kindiki akiwa naibu wa rais, na pia kunao mawaziri ambao wakati ule walikuwepo lakini sasa hawapo. Na pia tunafahamu kwamba Rais William Ruto aliunda ile serikali ambayo iliwaleta pamoja viongozi mbalimbali wakiwemo wale ambao walikuwa upande wa Agosti tarehe 8, na hivyo basi baadhi yao wanatu takriban miezi mitatu katika afisi, na hivyo basi wana kibarua kikubwa pale kuhakikisha kwamba wanatekeleza majukumu yao pamoja na wale ambao walipewa ile kazi. Na mtazamaji, ni hafla ambayo tu imewaleta pamoja pia maafisa wa serikali ama wa vitengo mbalimbali vya serikali ambao wamekuwa tu wakiandamana na wale kuhakikisha zinakumbatia hili swala la kutia saini kandarasi za utendakazi, ili wale ambao wanapewa fedha za serikali wawe wanazitumia kwa njia ambayo inastahili. Na vile rais amezungumzia tu baadhi ya zile sera ama yale masuala ambayo kama serikali anahisi yamekuwa yakifanyika vyema. Kwa mfano, amegusia swala la afya kwa wote UHC, tukikumbuka kwamba hivi majuzi mfumo mpya wa bima ya afya ulizinduliwa, na pia rais akazungumzia swala la ujenzi wa nyumba za gharama nafuu, ampata makazi mema, na akasema kwamba licha ya wale ambao wamekuwa akisema mabaya kuhusu serikali, ana imani kwamba serikali itafaulu. Na kwa cha muhimu mno ni kwamba amewasihi wale ambao wanatekeleza kazi wawe wanaitekeleza kwa njia inayostahili na kwamba hakuna nafasi ya kufeli, na pia akaitaka Wizara ya Fedha kuhakikisha inatoa fedha kwa wakati unaostahili ili wizara mbalimbali ziweze kutekeleza majukumu yake. Na hivyo basi, mtazamaji, kutoka upakisha matangazo hayo tunasema pia shukran kwako mtazamaji kwa muda wako. Rejesha pale Broadcasting House, tuendelee na matangazo yetu ya kawaida. Kwa heri.
The full list of 24 nations which will compete at next year's Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco, March Day 6 in Group J qualifiers. Kenya versus Sokaba Stadium in Polokwane, South Africa on KBC Channel 1. Kicking off at 4 p.m. KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Are you looking for a brand-growing outdoor advertising with beautiful simplicity and an artistically inspired choice? Look no further. Our 40 years of credible reputation and experience will give you exceptional brand traction.
Kwanza hatujui ni akina nani na nia yao afalo. Niambie fanya nini, maana watu washaanza kwenda zao. Tutakalosema mniache mimi nitamjibu. Sawa jamaa.
Wataka kujitoa?
TikTok. Get your brand on the talk with City Clock.
Thank you for joining us on Healthy Living. Stay connected to Voice of America at voanews.com. A look at your kidneys and how they impact your health. And an expert discusses chronic kidney disease and how to protect yourself. And Ivorian psychologist Noor Bakayoko shares some insights on bullying and what can be done.
It's important to avoid major events or major
serious condition. We'll have some answers. Stay well
and strive to make every day a healthy day.
you guys serious?
Do I look like I am smiling? Am I smiling, eh? Do you think Ajito is going to buy an open bottle?
Who told you I had intentions of buying such for my queen?
Well, last warning. Don't you ever call my brother.
The fact remains that I have made 2 million and I am a 2 millionaire rich.
Wewe fuga mdomo makwapa wewe. Kinyanjui, what is your problem? Don't talk to me.
Yani, you mean this classroom is now a bag? Am I missing something? Achito, why can't you just tell the truth?
MSMEs are at the heart of driving the government's bottom-up economic revolution, one business at a time.
So as young people, inabidi tunajituma. Ukipata 500, unajua ile 500 nikipata ile 500 nitaweka itoshe. Ninunue kale kama chini kenye nataka kununua, ninunue kompyuta yenye nataka kununua. Yaani nang'ang'ana tu.
From local hustlers to game changers and financial inclusion. Is the Hustler Fund the spark fueling the fire for economic transformation? Join us on Tuesday at 9 p.m. on The Shift as we talk to MSME Principal Secretary Susan Mangeni to find out if these small businesses
Nimekwambia kuwa wazazi wangu wanataka kunioza cha lazima. Unasemaje?
Ni dhihirisho kuwa utaki chochote kutoka kwangu.
Rama! Rama!
Chumbani mwako unamolala wewe mwenyewe. Watu watakuelewa vipi?
Rama, hebu karibia hapa.
Unakumbuka siku fulani ambayo ulikuja ukapata jamaa?
We. Kama cherehani, eh? Fiata hilo domo lako wewe. Mwenyekiti na katibu.
Good morning and a warm welcome to KBC News Check, the day being the 19th day of November 2024. We have a lot of ground to cover, and we've just witnessed the performance contracting signing by cabinet secretaries, their PSs, and also the Attorney General in the presence of the head of employees. Well, thank you indeed so much for joining us. My name is Bentro Njoe, and I'll be looking at, of course, we'll be looking at the exercise that just concluded in State House, Nairobi, with a key word as no excuses, delays or failures. Remember, the contracting coming just days after the clergy called out the government in regards to what they said is unfulfilled promises, extravagance, what have you. We'll be looking at that as well. No end in sight for that end of strike, but we are hopeful that they will come to an agreement, having said that the president has said that they will be looking at also, they're keenly looking at the education sector and especially on the university that has called out the government and what the government can do to redeem itself. My name is Bentro Njoe, bottom right of your screen. Allow me now to rope in my panel of experts, beginning with my immediate left. He is a university don as well. He's also a political scientist and also a governance and leadership expert. He's Oscar Omondi. Karibu sana, Oscar.
Karibu, asante sana, Bwana Troy. Thank you for having me here today.
Actually, we've never seen each other since what? Since we now have a new deputy president.
No, we've not had a discussion about 19 days. And we had a lot of discussions following the court deliberations when the court cases were going on and the public participation were going on. Yeah.
And speaking of public participation, there is also another public participation that is currently underway. We're talking about the new taxes that we are expecting that the government will be announcing very soon. And allow me to just mention very quickly the Public Finance Amendment Bill of 2024. We have also the Public Procurement and Disposal Act Amendment Bill of 2024, the Tax Procedures Amendment Bill of 2024, and last but not least, tax laws and reintroduction of the finance bill. But we will be looking at that as well. Allow me also to rope in also another panelist that we're more than grateful for you to be here, Sami Kipkemboi Meli, who is a governance and leadership expert. And thank you so much for making time to dig in a few things. Yes, the short rains are here.
Give us a scare,
yeah.
But we are doing well, thank you.
Gentlemen, karibuni sana.
Asante.
Very well. The good thing is that the performance contracting has been done when we were here, and we've been able to pick a few things. Allow me to just mention some of the things that the head of state has mentioned, and Nancy Okware has done a tremendous job in breaking it down for us. The head of state has talked about no excuses, no delays, no failures, contract execution, and they should take personal responsibility. I think maybe we should start there on what he has told his lieutenants, Sami.
Yes.
Talking about there's no failure, no nothing, you should own up. You do remember there's a point, the last performance contracting, he said that when you find that I know a lot about your ministry, then there's a big issue. This time around we have a new form of government, the broad-based, and also we didn't have a new Deputy President. Remember, he was late in the other one. He was quite early on this one. I would like to pick your mind in regards to what the head of state has just talked about as an overview.
Oh, first, the cabinet secretaries today arrived on time.
Yes.
And like last time when they were rushing in, as contracting is a good tool, especially to so much and so well. We would want to see because what I'm getting right now, they are signing new performance contract, but have we been told the others that signed last time, what did they achieve? How did they fail in their areas? Because I'm sure there are some ministries that actually nothing has gone on. And therefore, there should be a yardstick whereby the president says it 1, 2. What about the 3 and 4? How are we going to achieve this? It could end up being an exercise in futility, whereby it is just a national exercise that is done in State House every year, just for the cameras. But if you look at some ministries, there are a lot that has gone on. The Ministry of Education has really rescheduled their issues with CBC education. You see the exam cheating is being tamed seriously, handling of that. You have seen the examinations being handled with a in a good way, better than before. We have seen the capitation for schools going on time, unlike last year where we had issues. But he said that there were dispatch of the day. But now, I want to ask the president, because he has set up I would call it an ombudsman.